Nice uniform.
Thank you, sir. I do take great care of it.
My name's Howard Brooks. And you?
Elmer, sir.
I knew an Elmer once. He was...
I'm very sorry, sir, but I'm not allowed to talk to visitors, only to provide information. There are very strict rules.
That's all right, I understand.
I'm sorry, sir, but you can't use the elevators. It's a question of security.
But I really have to get to the 14th floor.
I'm very sorry, sir. Under present circumstances, only people wearing a badge may move freely around the building. And the badges can only be obtained at the ground floor reception desk.
What's the problem?
There's been a technical incident, and the elevators aren't functioning correctly. Access to them is limited during maintenance work.
Maybe I could take the stairs?
The emergency staircases can only be used in an emergency, sir. I'm afraid you'll just have to be patient.
This notice shows detailed evacuation instructions in case there's a fire. It says you mustn't take the elevators, but you must use the emergency staircases that the bellhops will indicate. I found this note. It seems to be addressed to you.
Thank you, sir. It must have just come in. I do pick up my messages regularly.
I hope I haven't brought bad news. You look a bit upset.
Let's just say that I made a little mistake, and ever since then, my superiors are keeping an eye on me. From now on, I intend to follow security procedures to the letter.
Sounds to me like a wise decision.
Thank you for bringing me this message. Now I have to return to my duties. Mister! Hey, mister! There's a fire! Take the emergency staircase. It's right over there!
Phew. The ground floor at last. I feel like I've run a marathon.
Jack Murray, journalist. You work here?
No, I'm just a visitor.
Pity. You could fill me in on what's going on. I've been hanging around here for hours. I always thought tailing stars was a more exciting job. Guess I'd rather be back on the news desk before I turn into a potted plant or something.
Are you watching out for someone famous?
Yep. The paper sent me because I'm their best reporter. One of our biggest stars is right here in the Empire State, and I simply have to get an interview. I've got a badge, so I've covered every single floor, but I came up with zilch. So I'm just waiting here. She's got to come down sometime.
Say, do you know how I can get a badge so I can get around the building?
Go try at reception. But you may be out of luck. The security guys have stopped them from being given out. I only just managed to get mine.
I'm trying to get to the 14th floor. Could you possibly help me?
I'm afraid you're out of luck, sir. Some floors can't be reached by the elevators due to a technical problem. You'll have to wait for the problem to be resolved.
I have an appointment with a Mr. Foster, an important businessman. Do you know who he might be?
Of course. Mr. Foster has had offices here for a long time. He has the whole of the 14th floor. He's a charming man, very refined.
I suppose he must be pretty well off.
Mr. Foster has one of the largest fortunes in the country.
Oh, and what line of work is he in?
As far as I understand, Mr. Foster has a very wide range of investments, but he is particularly interested in antiques.
You must see a lot of people come through here. I've heard you sometimes get to see movie stars here in the building.
The Empire State Building is a very prestigious place, and it attracts prestigious people. Even as we speak, Greta Garbo is within these very walls to discuss her next film project, Conquest. I'm one of her greatest fans.
I haven't seen any of her recent films, but she certainly is a great actress.
She was wonderful in Camille. It's a shame she didn't get the Oscar.
I'm a big fan of Greta Garbo too, you know. Did anyone ever tell you you kind of look like her?
Oh, now you're flattering me, Mr.
Brooks, but you can call me Howard.
You know something, Howard? I had the privilege of exchanging a few words with Greta Garbo only last week. It was an unforgettable experience. It's a pity the incompetence of one of the bellhops spoiled it all.
What happened?
One of the bellhops lost some of her luggage. I just know it was that good-for-nothing Harry Mitchell. I never did like him, and his brother's no better than he is.
I'd like a badge to use the elevators.
I'm sorry, sir, but no badges can be given out during a maintenance alert. Please come back later.
Apparently, Greta Garbo's here in the building. You are so lucky. You get to rub shoulders with the stars in your job.
We do indeed get to meet famous people, but sometimes that's more trouble than it's worth. These are very demanding people.
I heard tell of an incident last week. One of the bellhops didn't do his job too well. I think it was someone called... Elmer.
I see you've heard. My brother Elmer has indeed been somewhat negligent. He's lost some parcels belonging to Miss Garbo. The bellhops are all doing their best to make up for this negligence. Miss Garbo will be down in about an hour, and I shall be apologizing again for the incident. I'm very sorry, sir, but access to the elevators is restricted to persons who have a badge.
I have some information that might interest you. Greta Garbo is going to be coming down to the lobby.
No kidding, that interests me. So what can I do for you in return?
I need your badge.
No problem. I don't need it. Here, take it.
Thanks. Miss Garbo will be down in the lobby in an hour. Good luck with the interview.
You may use the elevator, sir. Good day to you, sir.
Sorry to bother you, but perhaps you could help me?
What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to get to the 14th floor for a meeting with Mr. Foster, but I'm having a bit of trouble with the elevators.
Well, this is the 18th. There's a slight problem with the elevators right now. Miss Hatchet is taking care of it. Mr. Foster is very understanding. I'm sure he won't mind you being a little late.
Who's Miss Hatchet?
One of the security directors. Her office is on this floor.
Do you know Mr. Foster?
Yes, I've spoken to him a few times. He's passionate about ancient art, like me. He's got a wonderful private collection. He's donated a lot of pieces to the Metropolitan Museum, you know.
Have you seen him recently?
I did see him about 2 weeks ago. He looked a little preoccupied. He told me he was on the edge of a very important discovery, one that would call into question everything we know about history. But he wouldn't say any more than that.
Is Miss Hatchet your supervisor?
Yes, and she's not an easy person, I can tell you. She's always interfering, like with the way we dress, how we do our hair. She's real strict about all that, and I just love fashion. She won't let me dress how I like to.
Well, I think you look absolutely ravishing. But if you don't mind me saying so, I think you'd look even better if you let your hair down.
Loose hair isn't in fashion now. I try to keep up with the times, but it isn't easy with Miss Hatchet.
Yes, what is it?
Do you know how I can get to the 14th floor?
That floor isn't accessible at the moment. What is your business there? The 14th is a high security floor. All visits there are monitored.
I have an appointment with Mr. Foster. What's so special about the 14th floor?
There are many valuable objects there. It's where Mr. Foster stores a part of his art collection.
Perhaps I could be of help.
I doubt it. Just let us get on with our jobs and everything will be sorted out.
I have a very important matter to discuss with Mr. Foster. These elevator problems really are a nuisance. You might at least tell me what's going on.
Since you are so very insistent, the breakdown might possibly be due to sabotage on the part of some thugs. I'm at present arranging for repairs down in the basement that should allow you to access the 14th floor. Then you'll be able to take care of your business with Mr. Foster. Now, would you please let me get on with my work? I really don't have time for this. Would you please leave my office?
If you're one of them pen pushers, you can just push off. Miss Garbo's in a rendezvous, and she don't want to be disturbed.
Don't worry, I'm not here to bother her. Are you her bodyguard?
Yeah, a dame like Miss Garbo draws the crowds, you know? And there's folks who have a tendency to get a little pushy.
The price of fame. But not all cinema lovers are like that. Take the young lady who works in reception. She's a big Garbo fan, but I'm sure she knows how to behave.
You were saying the young lady in the reception? You know her?
A little. Why?
Well, I gotta say, she did kinda catch my eye. So if she loves the movies, the signed photo of Miss Garbo's gotta make her happy, right? You know her first name?
I don't remember it.
Too bad. I have to think of something else.
What with Miss Garbo here in the office, I've never seen so many visitors. You a journalist? You looking for an interview?
No, actually, I have an appointment on the 14th floor.
In that case, you're in the wrong place. This is reception for Cineworld magazine.
A friend of mine who works here, Ellen O'Connor, is getting picked on by her supervisor. I hope you don't have that kind of problem.
Oh, you know Ellen. Poor thing, they're really strict about her hair and what she wears. And she just loves fashion.
It's getting her down a bit. Do you have anything that might cheer her up?
Take her a copy of our latest edition. There's a very interesting article about next season's hairstyles. There are some movie stars saying how long hair is coming back into style. You know, like right down over the shoulders. That might give Ellen some ideas. I can't wait to read the exclusive interview Greta Garbo's given us. The movie she's shooting at the moment is an enormous production. It's a historical drama, and Miss Garbo's playing a countess who's in love with Napoleon.
What's a pretty girl like you doing sitting all alone in the corridor? You waiting for someone?
No, I'm just on my break. I don't feel so stifled here by all those accountancy files. How about you? You look lost.
I don't know the Empire State Building very well. But don't worry, I'll find what I'm looking for. Can I get to the 14th floor from here?
You can usually, but the maintenance guys are checking the elevator machinery. Afraid you might have to wait.
It says here on this rota that employees must observe office hours from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. This photo must have been taken at the inauguration of the Empire State Building.